Wednesday, March 6th, and today I'll cover the trades for the YieldMax funds, TSLY, CONY, and MSTY. So believe it or not, all three did not have trades. So I'm pretty happy about that. As as the sheet updater, I could take it. Very good day. So that being said, I'll try to go a little slower for the new subscribers, the newer people to options, because I did get a comment yesterday that says, I love your videos, but I don't understand the numbers. And that kind of reminded me, not to take it, not to like rush everything always. I mean, some videos are going to be a rush. There's nothing I could do because there's so much data to cover. But some videos, like days like this, there's no trades. So I'll try to do my best to explain, what I'm talking about in detail. Not too much, but just enough. But anyway, let's get started. I'm starting with CONY because, there's going to be riots out in the streets if I don't, keep CONY first. The CONY, the CONY bunch, they're out there, man. They're in packs. I know TSLY is a bigger fund, but the CONY diehards are, you don't mess with them. Anyway, just kidding. Let's move on. So real quick, I have a synthetic tab. So each fund, they have a synthetic position and then they sell weekly calls. All the synthetic position is, just think of it as holding the stock. They don't physically hold the stock, but instead they do two options positions to mimic the movement of the underlying stock. So as you can see here, this is the ongoing synthetic position where they have 17,550 contracts, which by the way, each contracts equal 100 shares. And then the trade price, that would be how much they paid to purchase, each transaction. So when you create a synthetic, there's a buy call where they're actually paying money to buy a call, because when you buy a call, it's a bullish position. You pay a premium in hopes that the stock will go above, the strike price. And then there's the sell put. And when you sell a put, it's also a bullish position because you want the stock price to land above the strike price, at expiration. But selling a put, you're not done once you sell that put because you collect a premium. Buy call, you pay a premium. And you can't lose any more money. You can only gain money. When you sell that put, yes, you collect the premium up front, but guess what? You can lose a lot of money. So the put is what can bring you down, which mimics, the underlying stock movement downwards. And then the call is what can bring you up, because that's what mimics, the stock upwards. Both work in tandem. And it's pretty cool to see. But this, when you do a synthetic, which I believe is also called a combo in the options world, it is very risky. I would never try this on my own. I mean, one day maybe, but right now, as a full-time worker, a full-time dad, someone who just doesn't have time to monitor this, I would not be able to sleep at night. So, and just look what they're doing, 17,550 contracts on a synthetic position. So anyway, that was the synthetic position in a nutshell. So what I do is I usually just cover in green. This is how much the synthetic position is worth each day. So I always plug in the new numbers. So again, 17,550 contracts. Right now, the buy call will reward you $36.83 per share, which, in other words, is $64 million. Now, the sell put, they would have to pay $18.55 because again, this put either has to expire worthless or they have to pay money out to the person, who bought it, right? If it goes their way and the underlying stock ends up above the strike when all said and done with this synthetic, then the put, it won't cost them much, if at all, to close. But again, since the expiration date is further out, it's April 19th, this is basically saying anything can happen. So if they decided, if you close an option early, you have to pay the time premium. So there's still time premium, a lot of time premium in this one. So in summary, the synthetic position on CONY is worth $32 million because coin right now is priced at 216. This synthetic position is $200. Okay. Hopefully that made sense, and I'm sorry if some of you were bored with that. All right, so the monthly tabs, real quick. At the top in blue is just a summary data. It just shows CONY price, coin price, outstanding shares, which links to the last holdings tab, and then it shows how much income they're making for the month, and then how that converts to a distribution, daily income, and a daily yield. And also, typically I'll gray out any of the older transactions. So as you can see, we're starting fresh with a new month. So I carried over, this position right here, right? So it's all the contracts, the 17,550 contracts. This is the weekly call. So they sold a call with a 240 strike. And again, each contract is 100 shares. So they made 220 per share. So, you do the math on the call credit section, and that's how much they're actually earning, 3.8 million. Okay. So, and that obviously that carries down to the profit loss bucket. However, since this is still open, there's going to be a close price at some point. So that close price depends on where coin ends up by the end of the week, by 3/8. You can see the break even. If coin ends up above 242.20, which is, again, look at column K, then the close price will more than likely be more than the open price. And that means the profit will actually be a loss. The profit section would actually not be a profit, it would be a loss, which would be a debit position for my file. If coin ends up below 242.20, then we would expect the close price to be lower than the open price, which would end up in a profit. Best case scenario, we want coin to close below 240, again by 3/8. So far, we're actually looking good. So things are looking good. And then the income is 0 only because this call credit I credited towards the February tab. So hopefully that makes sense. Again, sorry for going a little slower today, but I'm just trying to make sure all the newer subscribers or the newer people to options understand what I'm talking about. All right, so March 5th, which was yesterday, coin went up. Coin went down 5.4%. So used to saying these funds, they've been going up, but they needed a little settlement right there. CONY only went down 3.29%. And why does that happen? Well, it's because of, the weekly call, right? So yes, the synthetic, if it was just the synthetic, the gains percentage would likely be the same, plus or minus maybe a few percentage points, fractional points. But since they have the weekly call, if the underlying goes down, the weekly call is winning. Therefore, it's going to help, the price of the ETF. So that's why CONY only went down 3.29%. Today is ex-dividend date. And when I show cash and treasuries, that's typically as of the close, which represents today's date. So if you look at the holdings, it'll have today's date. But you can see the cash is in a negative now, negative 19 million cash, because when on ex-dividend date, they have to pull out cash to send to all the brokers to get out those distributions. So if you're wondering why you don't get paid right away, obviously you're, it takes some time, right? They got to get the money out, and then the broker's got to do their thing, and then this and that, and then there's someone in between. There's like computer shares, and in between. But anyway, you don't care about that. So treasuries is no change. But long story short, cash and treasuries show a change of 24 million negative. Again, that's because today is ex-dividend date, and the cash got to come from somewhere. So are they allowed to keep negative cash on their balance sheet? Of course not. So this will be fixed most likely tomorrow, and they'll pull it from the treasuries. And now, the active tab is the most simple tab, I think. All this does is it shows you where we stand, the active contracts. So we have 17,550 contracts with a 240 strike, which is now 10.72% out of the money. Again, that expires March 8th. Since today is Wednesday morning, we have 3 full trading days left. So no, this is not safe, but it looks much better than it did the day before. 30-day IV, 97%, which is still very, very good. Coin price, 216. CONY and coin charts are just absolutely amazing. CONY price is 25.90, which is like, again, these funds, some of them perform so good, some of them are just not so good. Next, earnings for coin. I know I'm getting ahead of myself, but I figured I put a little note there. It's May 2nd. Potential capital gains for CONY, 278. So again, pretty good. My reaction, it's not my reaction, it's the fund manager of CONY. They're laughing as they were crying at the same time, because if you recall, the day before they were kind of like in the hole. They thought they were going to lose another weekly call, but they were laughing with with tears yesterday of joy, because coin finally took a little dip. They needed that, because again, they want to win their weekly calls. They don't want to just keep losing them. Obviously, what's the point? Why even bother? But so right now we're looking okay. Again, we got 3 trading days, so we need coin to just move up a little. Payment, nothing for March, because again, no trades, so nothing to really talk about. Outside of, I added the distribution of 166 for the prior month, which again, that goes under February. And I show a NAV reserve of 221 per share. So, and obviously I have the debit and credit carry forward columns. This shows like how much, if they paid over, for example, if they paid more than what they made, that would go in the debit carry forward, more so representing like a loss. If they paid less, then that would go in the credit carry forward. So as you can see on the bottom, this will show the net of the two. So right now, the debit is greater than the credit. So typically, if the credit could stay more, then I'm thinking maybe we'll get a Christmas bonus at the end of the year. Even though their fiscal year, which is their taxable year, ends in October. But, okay. Holdings, what do we got here? Right now, it would cost $3.01 to close out the 240 call. How much did they make? Where is it? 220. So obviously, not they need more time to just wear out and go, they need, this is a weekly call. So what do you expect? So it's only Wednesday, so we'll see how it goes. Nothing else new. They did add they also have now this, money market, FGXXX. I don't think CONY had it yesterday. I think TSLY and MSTY had it, but I guess that's going to be a thing to now have a money market fund along with the United States Treasury bills in, making you interest, which also it represents the collateral that they sell calls on. So, yeah. Okay, that's it. That's it for CONY. All right, pre-market. And again, I had to go slow on that one. I just wanted to make sure everyone understands what I'm talking about. I don't want to rush. And all right, look at that. Oh boy. See, look at that. See, we're 10% out of the money. It's already up 6% pre-market. And again, pre-market, you got to keep in mind, it's just, that can change, at the open, it could flip. So don't really go crazy thinking about pre-market. And it's also it's not even 5 a.m. yet when I'm looking at this. So a lot can change. But we shall see. Let's take a look at TSLY. Again, TSLY, no trades. Man, they can't catch a break. This poor fund and poor us. They still have the 220 synthetic, and it expires next week. And Tesla just keeps going down. Tesla's down to 180, and this 220 synthetic is just gonna, man, $118 million to close this out. I know they still have 3 trading days for this week, and then obviously next week. But man, I just hope Tesla can recover. But at the same time, you don't want it to recover too fast, because our weekly calls, they're strapped so tight that we can't take advantage of it, all those gains. So sorry to say, but this 220, this is going to be a loss for sure. The 185, we were doing good, and now we're actually below the 185. But this one should be fine. I think Tesla will turn it around. 180 is usually the sweet spot where, it dips to and then it comes back up, which is why I started swing trading. I'm like, I'm not just going to sit here and watch this. It's like clockwork, at least from what I saw. So I'm like, all right, I'm just going to buy and sell at 200, buy to 180, sell at 200, buy to 180. And then eventually I'll buy to 200, sell at 220, There'll be little, it's like, why not? Why not join the party, right? I'll make money through this, of course, and then I'll make money through other avenues. But anyway, let's get back to the spreadsheet. The 185 synthetic would actually cost them $5 million if they closed it today. So this is no longer in a credit position. Again, both synthetics have an expiration date of March 15th. Let's go to the March tab. Tesla closed yesterday. It was down 3.93%. TSLY was down 3.69%. Contract wise, they have 3 contracts still. The lowest break even is 194. And again, Tesla's at 180, so it looks pretty good, looks pretty safe right now. Cash and treasuries, cash is in the negative 19.5 million. Overall, negative 32 million. Because obviously they had 13 million yesterday, and then another negative 19. So they got to take out the money to pay us. Happy ex-dividend date, by the way. I know a lot of people wait for today to buy some of the YieldMax funds, because there's going to be a massive dip, especially for the $2 payments, which I could quickly review that at the end. So where do we stand with TSLY this week? 280 contracts with a 192.50 strike. That's 6.51% out of the money. Okay. 600 contracts, 195 strike. That's 7.89% out of the money. Okay. And look at this. 42,080 contracts, 205 strike, 13.42% out of the money. It's amazing what a few days does, right? We did this video on Saturday, and I was like, yield nothing, yield zero. What are they doing? And it's like, how do they know? What? I mean, I'm sure, I don't know. Are they that lucky? But in the end, what matters is by the end of the week. Because again, it always looks good in the beginning of the week. And then by the close of the week, they end up just losing. Past 2 weeks, they just lost. So, again, I don't want to say anything, but so far it looks okay. Tesla price again, 180.74, 30-day IV, 48%. I need that IV higher, damn it. TSLY price is 17.21. Post reverse split, I know. I'm sick of saying that. But look at this. Capital gains. Finally, we can get some capital gains on TSLY, 229. So if there ever was a chance to buy TSLY, which I'm not doing, by the way, now's the chance, because you're never going to see out of the money like this on TSLY. You're never going to see, unless their IV goes up. So if you buy TSLY right now and Tesla goes up, guess what? You're going to get 12 to 13% capital gains. Could you imagine? If they actually went up that much by Friday? So that is the good part. I know people are complaining. It's doom and gloom, but what are you going to do? Tesla went down, so TSLY can't do anything. Here's the reaction. I think the happy face, that should represent people who want to buy TSLY. This is literally a great time. I always strive for the Monday dips. But if you can get a Monday and a Tuesday dip, man, again, because the percent out of the money, because now you have room to grow. So again, at the same time, it could just go down. It could tank, but that's a risk to take. That's investing. What can you do? Curve, no change. They still have the 100 contracts with a 230 strike. Look at that out of the money. They have a 419 expiration, but their out of money is 27.25%. Curve, I don't know, man. I just don't think, kind of disappointing. I do like the weekly calls. The more I think about it, I'd rather be more active. Active is weekly. However, like I always said, Tesla's hard, so the monthly may be a little better if they go further out of the money, but I don't know. Tesla, you're better off just trading on your own, maybe. Next earnings for Tesla is April 17th. All right. Payment for March, obviously nothing going on, no trades. But I did plug in the 81 cents, so that shows a NAV depreciation of 35 cents. And if we look at the credit and debit carry forwards for TSLY, obviously the debits outweigh the credits, 300 million versus 98 million. So this is unfortunately not going to get any better due to the synthetic closeouts that they'll have to do. Because again, when they roll the synthetic, their new positions, they don't really net anything because they open positions at the money. So these at the money positions either will cost them a little money or they'll get a slight credit. And that's, so the loss is going to be, shown in the next month. You'll see a massive, there's no way they can recover that from that unless the new synthetic position makes money. And it's possible, right? They could roll this synthetic into a 180 and then Tesla can go to like 210 and then boom. We're set, but we'll see. All right, so where do we stand? We stand pretty damn good. Like, look at that, 12 cents to close. Why not pay 12 cents to close this out? Like, Tesla's not going to stay down for long, right? So if you look at the March, how much did it cost to open? How much credit did they get? $3.55, right? 12 cents. Just close the damn thing. Who gives a damn about 12 cents? Close it. And then if Tesla goes up, guess what? They can wait and sell weekly calls further out of the money. But what do I know? I'm just some moron on YouTube making videos in a garage. So why would they listen to me? Anyway, let's look at the Tesla pre-market. Here we go. Okay, it's moving up a little, 1.38%. Again, pre-market is what it is. It's not even 5 a.m., so a lot will change. Let's go to your other favorite fund, MSTY. No trades, so synthetic is actually not as valuable. MSTR, looks like it went down. But their synthetic strike is 950. MSTR is at 1,051. So it's still out of credit of 894,000 if they decide to close, which they won't at this point. But how did MSTR do yesterday? See, as quick as it goes up, the day before we had 23% gains for MSTR. And the day after, we had 21% loss in MSTR. So for those of you that bought on March 4th, that sucks. I'm sorry that happened. But hopefully you'll recover your gains. So MSTY only went down 14.3% because, again, they have the weekly calls that, again, they do better when the underlying goes down. And here's all the weekly calls that are in white and all the break-evens. Way too many to go through, but we'll cover them in the active tab to see how they're doing. Cash and treasuries, they're not paying a distribution this month, so their cash did not move. It moved a little, but it did not obviously take out a massive chunk to pay. But overall cash and treasuries went up $895. Woohoo. Outstanding shares, they're still only at 375,000. That ain't much. All right, let's talk about the active tab real quick. 4 strikes 4 contracts, 1,230 strike, 17% out of the money. 8 contracts, 1,350 strike, 28.45% out of the money. 60 contracts, again, biggest position, 1,430 strike, 36% out of the money. And then look at this one. This is a record, a new record again. 15 contracts, 1,600 strike, 52.23% out of the money. Wow. Unreal. 30-day IV, 146%. This stock is nuts. Next earnings for them is April 29th. MSTY is priced at 26.18. But look at that, man. It can go up 9.76 with the way their calls are. But their calls, you don't see calls like that. But the reason you see calls that far out of the money ever is because of that. The 30-day IV, the implied volatility, that implies there's a movement. There's movement in the stock. There's interest in the stock. There's interest in the options. So you will get a better premium, for that reason. People are interested in buying. You want to sell a call, people will buy calls for a hefty price. So if you're willing to sell a call, you're going to get paid. So that's why our premium is much, much higher. The reaction did not change. This is so far the moneymaker. I know we had a slight down day, but we were due, guys. We were due. But yeah. All right, March, again, it's their first month and nothing really going on. Total income, we're just looking at 7 cents, but we have a whole month, so this is really irrelevant right now. Today's YieldMax ex-dividend date, so we'll have fun with that. All of our brokerages will dip by the amount of the distribution per share, by the way, if you're new to this. So don't worry. You will get paid that back, though, on Friday. Unless your broker sucks, then you'll probably get paid at the end of Friday. The 4 contracts, that's how much it costs for them to close. Net asset value, 9.6 million. NAV, 25.78. Trade price. This NAV and trade price never can stay, close. But this one's nuts. MSTR. What do you think? Up or down? Come on. I got to refresh again. Let's see. Oh my God. Is the dip over? It's up 10.66%. Again, it's not 5 a.m. yet here, but it's up. Actually, let me check my watch. It is 4:44. It's up 10.74%. Wow. This is like crazy. Great way to make a lot of money. Great way to lose a lot of money. Obviously, I announced the distributions yesterday. But real quick, the big ones the famous ones, TSLY, 81 cents. NVIDIA was a shocker, 262. Not really a shocker, but rightfully so. They're paying 262. CONY, 166 per share. AMD, 137. And MSTY 113, AIYY 106. So that's just a quick recap of, some of the bigger payments for yesterday. So if you guys want to see that whole video, I posted that yesterday at lunchtime, obviously because I was working. So, and maybe if I can, I'll pin it to this video if you guys still, can't find it. But either way, that's all I really got for today. So as always, if you enjoyed this content, please hit that like button. If you are a beginner to the channel or beginner to options and you did not understand the numbers, please let me know if what I did in the beginning helped. If it did not, I'll have to do better next time. And yeah, outside of that, let me know how you feel about your funds, about the distribution announcement, about your funds. What are we buying? What are we selling? Are you pissed that Tesla's going to lose more money on the synthetic, or do you not care because you think they'll get it back on another synthetic? A lot to discuss. These funds are very busy. They're very interesting. As always, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. This video is for fun and entertainment. So yeah, FYI, I may be interviewing Sylvia from Defiance, Sylvia Jablonski. I may be interviewing her next week. I have to see. Right now, again, I do my videos on my phone. I don't really have a laptop that I could do this stuff on, so I'd have to do the interview on the phone. So I'm still working out those kinks because I can't find a legit service that actually has a good a good way to do an interview while still recording the interview, so I'm able to put it on YouTube, right? So that's my current struggle at the moment, but just an FYI, that may happen next week, which is pretty cool. Again, I used to cover the Defiance funds daily, so, I have plenty of questions myself, but I'll probably reach out to the Discord community at some point and get a list from them, see what they say. But anyway, all right, that's all I got for today. Hope you guys enjoy your day, and I will talk to you tomorrow.